in the room yet, just yet. Now we've got one in the room so far. If you can hear me loud and clear, just put a yes in the chat box. The chat box is at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And now we got a few more coming in. Murphy's Law. Google wanted to update me. Just that's what caused my delay. But anyhow, now we got a few more coming in. Good, good, good. Okay, welcome to Sherry, or Cheryl rather, Ross, Michael, Maricon. And we'll just give a few more of the starters a little bit of time to arrive. We got 6. Okay, Nigel's in. Hi, Nigel. No, you can't hear me. And Vince Fassam. Hi, Vince. How the hell are you? And who else are we waiting on? A few more to come. So no audio, Neil. Well, according to me, can anyone hear me? Ruth says no. Nigel says no. Maricon, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Cheryl says yes, you can hear me. Loud and clear, Neil, says Ross. Michael says yes, he can hear me. Nigel says no, he can't hear me. I don't know, must be something wrong on your end, Nigel. Ruth, Ross says yes. And who else have we got in? Good, good, good. Jeff can hear Neil. Good, thank you, Jeff. Yes, loud and clear, says Vince. All right, so we got a few from Queensland. We got a few from WA. We got a few from New South. Hopefully you guys are not washed away up in Queensland yet. Alrighty, I just refreshed. Fine now, good, says John. Okay, so just refresh your screen. That may help. Maricon says yes, Cheryl says yes, Ross is loud and clear, Michael says yes, but Nigel says no. I don't know what to say, Nigel. I'm not sure what's happening on your end. Vince says yes, checking in. John says, let's refresh the browser. How do we do that? Just click the refresh button on your browser. That's a little circle, depending which browser you're using, Nigel. If you're using Google Chrome, it'll be a little circle, open-ended circle with an arrow on it. Just click that. Okay, it'll be up the top near the address bar. Alrighty, folks. Hopefully you all had a great Christmas holiday break, and I'm here to wish you all a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. So I'm just wondering, so I've got some idea of what you know already. If you can just put in the chat box whether you've read the homepage of mobizviral.com. That is, if you've read the homepage, I won't bother going over it again. And if you watch the videos there, I'll assume that you know what viral video marketing is. Yep, good on you, Jeff. John says yes. Who else has read the homepage of mobizviral.com? Ross says yes. Vince says yes. And alrighty, I'll take it that we got the majority saying yes. So now, this is an online product, which is a government regulated product, and it's government registered. It must only be offered to family, friends, associates above the age of 18, and in turn their friends, and so on and so on and so on. In other words, the marketing of Lotto Spring is limited to word of mouth or social media marketing. That simply means no commercial advertising. Also, there are a number of countries whose citizens are not permitted to play online lotto, and you'll find those lists of countries at www.lottospring.com. Fortunately, Australia is not one of the forbidden countries. However, to leverage your time, Lotto Spring may be marketed online automatically, socially, and virally, and together with 6 different systems which have been integrated into one system. And that is the Mobiz Viral system. Now, because most network marketers that I've spoken to have little to no internet marketing knowledge, the Mobiz Viral system has been made highly duplicatable, and once set up, it is it's almost set and forget. You'll find people running around all over the universe promoting the next best bright, shiny object. Beware. There are 2 questions you must ask first, and this really applies to all marketing, whether it's internet or offline. And the first thing you must ask them is, do they have a list? And if they have, how many do you have on your list? And you're looking for them to tell you 500 plus. The next question is, am I on that list? If they answer yes, and you've not received any communication from them, you'll know they're BSing you. So how do you communicate? The next question is, how do you communicate with your list? And they'll say email, or they might say SMS, or they might say snail mail. Whatever the case is, ask yourself the question, have you received one of their communications? The reason for asking those questions is going to become obvious in the second main question, and that is, do you have an automated internet marketing system? If they can't answer both of those questions positively, run like crazy, because you'll know that you'll get no support from them. Now, I've been studying internet marketing since way back in 1999. I can't remember the exact date. It was February 1999. The guy who was my coach and mentor at that time has now passed away. His name was Corey Rudel. But I happened to have a friend staying here with me in August of last year. Most of you know the guy. His name's Jeff Bowman. I had it, and he saw I was testing an automated viral software system that had been released after being in development for 18 months. And great for the experienced internet marketer, but not much good for the network marketer or those who have little to no internet marketing knowledge. So it needed a further 5 software systems integrated in to that viral system, and plus it created another 3 to 4 employees for me. We've had 5 people working on this system. As of today, we've got 5 people working on Mobi's viral system, and they'll continue to be working on it. There's Maricon, there's my ex-graphic designer who retired just prior to Christmas. I've got 2 social media specialists and a new graphic designer coming on board. There's a reason for all of that, but that's just a little bit of the background. But the system has been tested and proven with a whole heap of beta testers during that 18 months of development, and it works. The purpose of today's webinar is to expose to you what I discovered about ProSpring. I think you've already read those points on the registration page, but I'll just go through them again. What are the ProSpring 6 social circles? How are they structured, and how do they work? That's important because for most people, they don't understand it fully. So I'm going to get into that today, because without understanding how the social circles work, the rest of it is redundant. The next question is, or the next point is, how much monthly income can you reliably generate with 6 full social circles? And I'll go through that with you shortly. And there's some pieces that have been missing out of that explanation on the website, and also with Michael Giorgio's webinar presentation. It's one thing to know how much you can reliably generate, but the third point is, how do you get 6 full social circles without paid advertising? And point 4 was how the mobile system works and what you'll need to do to get up and running. And the 5th point is how to get started fast with a Team 31. So let's get started. What are the ProSpring's 6 social circles? Now I'm just going to go and share my screen and screen share, and I'm going to pull that up for you, share that now. And as you can see, I had my graphic designer create this animated GIF logo, if you want to call it that. And as you can see, and we get back to the start, pardon me. So this starts with you, and you get 5 people, 5 leaders, and they each get 5 leaders. It's that simple. And all of those circles amounts to you plus your 5 plus each of their 5, and you finish up with 31. And I'll explain the underlying dynamics of that very, very shortly. Strategically, your first social circle contains 5 people who each preferably have lists of 500 plus people. This is so very important, and we need it to feed the system. And those people should be using the Mobi's viral system, and you'll see why I say that shortly. Because the Mobi's viral system will then go work on your list, on your 5's list, and each of their 5's list. But I'm keeping that up my sleeve, and I'll explain the dynamics of that shortly. One thing that I should point out to you is that your 5 and their 5 creates a cascading effect over these 6 social circles. And I'll just do a check now to see if everyone can see my screen okay. If you can see my screen okay, just give me a yes in the chat box, please. That'd be cool. Okay. So if you can see my screen, there's a bit of latency here. Just give me a yes in the chat box. Good. Yep. Seems like everyone's seeing it. That's good. All right. The point that I wanted to make out is this. Everyone in these 6 social circles, of which you have 19,530 people, get pretty much the same benefit if you're working as a team. So let's talk about your first 5 people that are on the top little circle there. There's 5 of them. They're all using Mobius Viral, and they've each got their 5 leaders, which is the second circle of 25. But as their viral system starts to kick in for you, and it does take a little while to warm up, and when I say a little while, after you've got your leads in, your seed list in, about a week, give it a week to 2 weeks to warm up. So other people have done it. So, you know, one of the beta testers of this system claimed that he had 16,000 leads in the first 4 days. Yes, I now know why, and that is he had 3 systems working. He was counting all of those systems together. But anyhow, that's digressing. So what you want to build motivation and excitement in your system, you want the 5 at the top here underneath the orange pin spilling their people down over each of their 5. There won't, because because Lotto Springs social, or Prosperous social circles feed into the social circles from left to right, and they pardon me, and if there is no vacant space, they'll spill to the next level, which is your 3rd level. And if there's no vacant space, which is, you can see here from my screen, there's 125 people in that. And if there's no vacant space in that, then it'll spill to your 4th level of 625, and so on down to the 5th level of 3,125. And so all of that action creates excitement and motivation, and that's what you need to have happen. If you don't have that excitement and that spilling effect, the cascading effect down over your social circles, you'll find that your ProSpring business starts to stall. And so I'll come back to the team of 31 very shortly. So your strategic focus should be to get your first 5 leaders who are, in some respects, marketers. They've got a list, and they've got people to talk to. They've got people that, just one minute, I'm going to change screens for a minute, and just let me check. And alrighty. So on the homepage of Mobius Viral, you'll notice there was a study done by Nelson research firm in Australia, and it was also done by one of the universities in the United States. I'm just trying to think of the name of the university. I don't have it to hand at the moment. So just a minute. Okay. So I'm just going to change screens again. So we get down to here. Alrighty. And so what those 3 boxes on the home page of Mobius Viral effectively say is that your own seed list, that is people that know you, who recommend you to their friends, are 7 times more likely to make a recommendation than people who don't know you. So you need, it's just like a Ferrari racing car. If you got no fuel in the tank, It's not going to go anywhere. And your fuel in your tank here is your warm seed list. Now, I've had a look at the results of one person who I won't mention from the seed list that they're uploaded, and it's going like crazy. It's great results. All right, it's only that person's first email, but the results were still good, with further emails flowing out because of the autoresponder that's within the system. These people will start to catch on to what is being said. Alrighty, so the Mobo's viral system will help each of them to do the same. So now if you've got at the top of this screen here, we'll come back to this slide. If you've got 5 here and 5 here, there's 30 plus use 31. That's all you need, really need. If each of these people have got, these 31 people, including yourself, have got a list of it, warm list of at least 500 plus. I'm going to show you the dynamics of it very, very shortly. And I think that ProSpring will finish up being shocked. And all right, I'll let the cat out of the bag now. If you have a look at, add up all these numbers here, just one moment, I'll just check to see that you're still looking at this. Yep, good. If you add up all of these numbers, you'll find that you've got 19,530 people in your social circles. They're people that have actually signed up. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in there. So in a normal marketing equation, you have to ask yourself, how many people do I need on my list at a normal conversion rate? In other words, if you mailed 100 people, over 7, maybe 7, 10, 12 emails, how many people would you actually get to convert from a prospect to being registered? Now, we can talk about people who just want to sit and rely on automation. They'll probably get 1 or 2 or 3%. We can talk about people who are going to have some interaction with these people on their Facebook. They might call them. Or we can talk about a normal sales rep who would go out or pick up the phone and talk to each and every prospect. And the normal sales rep would get 1 in 4, 1 in 3. A poor performer would get 1 in 4 sales. So for every presentation that they made, every 4 presentations they made, they would get 1 sale. That's a fairly poor performer, below average. The average is about 1 in 3. Good performers who are well rehearsed will get 1 in 2 presentations converted. So what I've worked on is a conversion rate nowhere near anything like that. A conversion rate of 6.5%. In other words, for every 100 people coming into your prospect list, you will get 6.5 who will register. So if 6.5, and I don't know if you have calculators in front of you, I didn't have time to do a slide with this calculation on it, but just divide 19,530 people, which is a full social circle, by 6.5, and you'll find that you need a list of 310,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I sure as hell know about me. The biggest list I've ever had is 76,000. And of those 76,000, about 10.5, 11,000 were good. The rest were rubbish. You'll get mailing houses with lists bigger than that, but the average internet market's flat out having a list of 5 to 10,000. So your chances alone to fill your social circles working on your own are next to none. So therefore, you need a team of 31, but I'm going to come back to that shortly. because there's no point going through all of this if you don't know how much you can win by having your 6 social circles full. Now, the two things that got my attention with Lotto Spring, Pro Spring, call it what you will. The Lotto Spring is the retail version, the Pro Spring is the business version. You receive winning bonuses on up to 19,500 people, Lotto players within your 6 social circles. Just a minute, I'll check to see if you can see my screen, if I'm actually sharing that with you. Yep, I'll just drag it down a little bit. And we'll check that again. It's looking good. All right, you receive winning bonuses on up to 19,500 Lotto players within your 6 social circles. Pro Spring pays you a winning bonus equal to 10% of all the winnings of people you have personally introduced, and they pay you 5% of the rest of the people in your social circles that you didn't personally introduce. I'm not going to focus too much on the winning bonuses, but I do want to talk about the blitz tickets, because that's where it shines particularly. All right, I'll just change my screen again. And here we go. You receive a guaranteed to win bonus blitz tickets. Just check to see that you guys can see that. Yes, you can. With 6 full social circles, you will have attained the elite 5-star rank, for which you receive 600 points for every active Lotto player you personally introduce, and 300 points for those in your 6 social circles that you didn't personally introduce. So here you earn more blitz points and tickets for all your Pro Spring members. You get 1 free entry to give away per game, and there's 8 games in a 4-week period. So you'll have 8 free promotional Lotto tickets to give away every month. The first 8 that get through on your viral system. Now you'll see here that access to the Pro Spring ranking system went even more. So you can see, as a Pro Spring member, you can, with 1-star rank, you get 200 points for those you didn't introduce, and 400 points for those you did introduce, and so on. With 2 stars, 225, 450, 3 stars, 250 and 500, 4 stars, 275 and 550, and 5 stars, 300 for those that you didn't personally introduce, and 600 points for those that you did personally introduce. Now, so let's move it along a little bit, and I'll scroll down here. So notwithstanding the fact that the first 3 people that you introduce to the system, to Pro Spring, you're going to get to play for free to start with, so you're no longer at risk. But here's the Pro Spring ranking system, and if you personally introduce 5 people and have 50 others in your social circles, you are a 1-star. We'll go through here the 2 stars, 3 stars. You can see what it is: 35, 250. 4 stars, you need to personally introduce 50, and you have 300 others within your social circles. To get up to the 5-star rank, and I believe there's more higher rankings coming, you would need to personally introduce 100. And you might think that sounds like a lot, but with the viral marketing system, it's not many at all. And you would need to have 500 others in your social circles that you didn't personally introduce. Now, I'm showing you this for a reason, and I'm just going to change screens again. And, oops. So just checking, yes, you can see that. Pro Spring gives you 1 free guaranteed to win blitz ticket for every 300 points you have. So if you've got a full 6 social circles, and let's assume that you're at this point in time, and this is purely hypothetical, let's assume that your system brings in 700 people that you personally introduced. If we go back to the ranking system, you'll remember you get 600 points for each of them. That's 420,000 points. For those that you didn't personally introduce, you get half, 300 points. And let's assume that the number here is 18,830, which tallies 19,000 in total, is 19,530. That means you would get 5,649,000 points. And it's an example only, as I said, 19,500 players in your 6 social circles. You introduce 700. The other 1,830 introduced by your team, based on the 2 images below, you'd have 6,069,000 points divided by 300 for 300, because you get a blitz ticket for every 300 points. You would get 20,230 guaranteed to win blitz tickets. Now, you and I both know this is not a perfect world, but you have to be able to work the numbers on something. Now, this is what you win on a blitz ticket. If you've got no matching numbers, you get €1. If you've got if one of the tickets has got 1 matching number, you get €3. If you've got 2 matching numbers, it's €10. And if you've got 3 matching numbers, it's €100. And if you've got 4 matching numbers, it's €1,000. And if you're lucky enough and you get 5 matching numbers, which is remote chance, you get €50,000. Now, so how much does that really tally up to? How much does it convert to? All right, let's have a look at it. So there you go. You'd have 20,230 guaranteed to win blitz tickets. So based on the odds, and I've been checking the odds, and these odds here pretty much say it all. You would have 54% with no matching numbers at all. And so you get €1 for those where they didn't match anything. So you got 20,000 tickets times 54% times €1 turns out to be €10,924. You got 33% with one matching number. You get €3. 20,000 times 230 times 33%. You'd finish up with about €20,027. 11% would have 2 matching numbers at €10. So you got 20,000 tickets times 11% times €10. You'd finish up at 22,000. And 1.8% would have 3 matching numbers, for which you get €100. So 20,230 multiplied by 1.8% times €100 is 36,000. And 0.2% would have 4 matching numbers, for which you get €1,000. And you'd finish up with 40,000. 4 of those 20,000 tickets would have 4 matching numbers, for which you get €40,000. And if the odds deliver, like we've said here, these percentages, and like I said, they pretty much match what I've been keeping tabs on, you'd finish up with around €130,000 if you tally all these up in a month. So, and plus you'd have 20,230 chances to win 50,000. You notice I didn't focus on that too much. All right. So I'll just scroll back to here for the minute. And alrighty. So the question is it only you who's getting this money? Because if everyone in your team of 31 and beyond are using the Mobius viral system, you're all filling the same social circles, except that the ones below you, your 5 are just another level below. And so likewise, their 5 is just another level below. So it's fair to assume that a lot of you, all of you in your team would be getting, providing they remained active, would be getting somewhere about this money. Now that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So the question becomes, how do you get 6 full social circles without paid advertising? Because if you can work that out, and if it's at all feasible, then you're on a winner. So the question is, how do you get 19,530 people into your social circles at an average conversion rate of 6.5%? You'd need a list of 19,530 divided by 6.5, which I think is lowballing it. And that would be, you would need a list to between 300 and 310,000. Now, the only people that I know, as I said before, are the big internet marketing gurus who've got lists that size, and they've got a team working with them of probably 10 or 20 people, or the mailing houses. But wait, there is a solution. What if each of the 31 members of your team, Team 31, had a list each of 10,000? Your team would have a collect, because they're all building the same social circles. Your team would have, if those 31 each had a list of 10,000, we'd have a collective list of 310,000, wouldn't we? Now we're cooking. So how do we grow each of our 31 members to a list of 10,000 without paid advertising? That's the all-important question. And this is how committed when I saw this is how committed I became to the Mobiz viral marketing system, because it's proven and tested. I'm not employed by anyone, not Lotto Spring or Pro Spring. I'm not funded by anyone. I have a team of 5 people, including myself, working on the system continually since September 15, September last year. I spent 40 grand, almost 40 grand of my own money developing the system. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think there was a great chance. And that's because the system has already been beta tested and proven, and I know it works. I've spoken to the people that use it. One guy that I quoted some time ago of having over 100,000, then he progressed to 170,000. The last thing I heard was he was up over 200,000 people in his list. Now, here's the bottom line to it all. You might be saying, oh yeah, ho ho, hum hum. I will guarantee to build a list of 10,000 for each and every one of your team members within 6 to 9 months, providing each one starts with a warm list of 500 emails and mobile numbers. So the question then becomes is, how does the Mobiz viral system work? Well, it's a bit like having a Ferrari. You're not a mechanic, you don't know how the engine works, but you'd like to know a little bit about it. So I'm about to take you through it right now. You upload your seed list of 500 plus to the Mobiz viral system. And just a minute, I'll scroll this up a tad. Hopefully you can all see this. All right. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants here because I got Maricon to copy these earlier on today, and I haven't even proofed them yet. So hopefully they're good. All right. So you upload your seed list in your admin area. We check the seed list of the email address for you. In other words, we ping it to make sure that the email address actually exists and that it's not what's called a hard bounce. In other words, that the email address didn't die 6 or 7 months ago. A soft bounce simply means that the email address, the inbox is full. So the Mobis Viral Systems autoresponder sends the emails out for you. You don't have to do anything other than upload your list. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you'd have to set up your autoresponder. You'd have to do the testing, and I guarantee that 95% of you would get lost because it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky to stay out of the spam filters, but, and I will tell you this now, and you should write this down, the first thing you should know about internet marketing or any form of marketing is you need a list. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It can be Herbalife, it can be Amway, it can be whatever. You need a list. That's the first thing. The second thing is you need a system. And this system has about 6 different software platforms inside it. The one being the viral system, the other one being the autoresponder, another system being what 2 girls are working on all day, every day, which is researching viral content. Because if your Facebook page hasn't got anyone on it, or if there's no one visiting it because there's nothing interesting there, then your site's dead. So what you need to do is you need to have this page here. Just let me check to make sure you're viewing it okay. Yes. So without scrolling, guys, I think you get the drift. This is a page outside of Facebook. It's a web page, and it's also mobilized, so you can view it in a mobile phone. This page over here, you'll see the only difference between these two is that the Facebook page has a cover shot. Now, I'm not going to go into a great lesson on internet marketing and Facebook and how it all works. But what happens, whether they come here or whether they go to the page outside Facebook or whether they go to the page inside Facebook, they're going to be enticed with, whoops, a free ebook reveals how to play lotto for free and win. The important part there is a tagline is that it's government approved and registered, because you've got to separate yourself from the scam merchants out there who are also marketing lotto, which is a total scam. It's got nothing to do with Lotto Spring or Pro Spring. So the other thing is that you have to understand in email marketing, and the email spam filters are changing all the time. It's very, very hard to keep up with it. But the golden rule is this. You'll notice when you email a friend and they email you back, those emails do not get caught in any sort of spam filter and sent to your junk email. So the secret is when we're emailing people is we're trying to entice them to interact with us and email us back. That's the #1 secret. All right, so let's move along a little bit here. So people add their first name in here. On the left, they add their email, or they can, we have a new functionality coming shortly. I haven't even spoken to Maricon about it as yet. It's called Tap Tap Done, and that's specifically for mobile, because what happens is that every time they tap on an image on one of your posts, it then asks them that Facebook asks them if they will allow your contact details to be passed through, because they want to watch the video, and the only way they can watch the video is if they allow Facebook to hand over your first name and email address. Hopefully that makes sense. So people add their first name and email address to get a free copy of the ebook, and that ebook is, as you can see, how to play lotto for free and win, and then they click the submit button. It doesn't matter whether they're on a mobile. Please send my free ebook now. So I'd like you to listen carefully here, because this part gets a little tricky to understand. Most people can't understand the exponentiality of viral. So then they are sent to a thank you page after they've clicked through. And this thank you page says, hey, would you like to get the second ebook that's got the secret formula in it? You can see it over here on the left at step 2. On how to explode your lotto winnings with Team 31. And they just simply click yes, please. And then it sends them over to step 3, which asks them, or it tells them on the page below, to get 3 friends to download that first ebook, this one here, How to Play Lotto for Free and Win, and they will get the second ebook totally free of charge. So here they're presented with a selection of social media platforms. We have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, etc. So what they have to do is they have to log in. When they click that Facebook button, if they're not already logged into Facebook, they will have to log in. And what happens then, as you can see here, there's their login. And this system, the viral system, then puts a post on their Facebook page with a unique link in it. So when the people, their friends, see the post with the unique link, it sends them off to, guess where? Your Facebook fan page up here to download this ebook. Now their first friend downloads, does that, submits their details, and what happens is the person who's submitting this information here gets an email from the viral system, and that email says, congratulations, your first person has just downloaded How to Play Lotto for Free and Win. You've only got 2 more to go. And so same thing happens with the second person, and the third person, it says, congratulations, third person just downloaded your ebook. Now these people could be coming from Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, or Pinterest, not just from Facebook. So, and the third time, the person who downloads it, the email goes out automatically to the person that's filling this in, and it says, congratulations, the third person just downloaded the ebook, How to Play Lotto for Free and Win. And what happens then, and it says, here's a link to download the second ebook. And the same thing happens again, the next loop, same loop happens again. Would you like to win a free lotto ticket? Just get 2 of your friends to download the first ebook. And so what happens then is they get the free lotto ticket, and to get the free lotto ticket, they've got to go to ProSpring and register themselves to get the ticket. So you can see how the virality now works. And here's one of the postings here that happens from the system. So just going through it again. So the point that I really wanted to make here, so you have come in with, say, 500 friends, and let's assume that 10% of that, your list, go through this process here. And 10% of 500 is 50. And we already know from Statista, as of June 2015, that the average Aussie has 300 Facebook friends. It's actually 297, but 300 to round it off. So if you got 50 of the people going through this system here, and they're sharing it with 300, each sharing it with their 300 friends, and it may be even more because we've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and Pinterest, depending on what accounts, social media accounts they have. But let's just work on Facebook at the moment because there's too many variables here. So if you got 500, seed list of 500, who are recommending it to their friends, remember the recommendation is 7 times greater than a cold list. That's 50 people sharing it with their 300 friends. That's now being shared with 15,000 friends as a recommendation. And if 10% of that 15,000, that's 1,500, you get the story, I'm sure. And that keeps growing exponentially. So they receive an email every time one of their friends downloads the first ebook, and when the third friend and so on, and the same loop keeps on going around and around and around. One thing that I will point out that's invisible here, and that is that this person filling in this form here, he only needs to get 3 people. But he's just shared it with, say, 300 on Facebook and maybe a couple of hundred on LinkedIn. How does he stop it? He can't, because he's already done it. And so he may well get a lot more than 3, but 3 seems easy to get. You'll notice that Lotto Spring uses 3. Get 3 and it's free. So every time someone downloads an ebook or a lotto ticket, guess what? They're added to your database and list, which triggers the pre-written email series, and they begin to receive a series of emails inviting them to register for ProSpring or Lotto Spring. You will find those people's contact details who've downloaded the book in your admin area, in your prospect list, many of whom will have already registered with Lotto Spring. And that's a lesson for another day. Your Mobiz Viral admin area has 4 lists where you can view all the contacts. That is your seed list, those who you uploaded yourself, where you downloaded them from your email client, from your mobile phone, and from your social media accounts that you use. You then have your prospect list. Most of these people who are prospects are, pardon me, people from your seed list or people that they've recommended. In other words, they're friends. And some of those will have registered with ProSpring. And some of them may have already become Mobiz Viral subscribers, those who are using the Mobiz system. Your Mobiz Viral autoresponder also has the same 4 lists, which does your follow-up for you. In other words, there's an email going out to these people, and you can read those emails in your admin area. And those emails go out to people every 2, 3, 4 days. Each list has its own series of pre-written emails, which are sent out automatically based on when the contact was entered into the list. Now you have the most valuable asset any internet marketer has, and that is, you guessed it, the list. And you should have a list of 10,000 within 6 to 9 months. But I'd like to think it would be even less than 6 months. It depends upon the niche and the relationship you've built with the list, and that list, believe it or not, go look around the internet, it's worth a minimum of $2 a name. If you've got a list of 10,000, you have an asset of 20 to 30,000 and likely more. Plus, you should be getting tens of thousands monthly from ProSpring. So here's how to get started fast. And I'll just scroll through this now. And this is how now, you might ask me, have I had time to work my list yet? No, I haven't, but I'm about to start. How many people did I bring in on my first day? There's someone in the audience there that'll tell you if you want to check. I brought in 5 on my first day. Did they all convert? No, they didn't. And don't expect it, because it won't happen unless you've got some form of magic. So you must start with a seed list of 500 friends. Hopefully you can all see my screen. I'm just checking on that. Yep. You pay ProSpring a subscription of €66, and I've converted all this to US dollars because that's the international currency at the moment. So that becomes $72 US. You pay, or the person that you're inviting, your people in your team, they pay $1 for a Mobius Viral subscription for a 15-day trial. Plus they pay a Mobius Viral setup because it's 2 to 3 hours work in coding to link everything together. That's the most complex part of it, the linking all of the links. There's your Facebook pages, your autoresponder, etc., etc., and the viral system have all got to be linked together, so it all feeds into, finishes up in your admin section and your autoresponder. So you pay 197. They pay 197 for that. Most of you who are here got in early, and you got in for far less than this. Anyhow, but this is the current price. So they pay 270 euros. Sorry, US dollars. And you'll be set up as a leader within 24 hours, excluding Saturday and Sunday. I'll just scroll through again. So by day 15, they should be, if they're in earnest, not sitting there sucking their thumb. If they're in earnest doing the work, imagine if they had a boss standing over them, you're in the money. Your viral system brings in a minimum of 3 new people within 15 days, so your monthly lotto entry is now free to play. Each new person you bring in gets the same deal as above. You receive $100 commission for each new person you bring in, so you bring in your 5 front lines. Remember, that's strategic positioning. You should be looking for people, as I said previously, with a list of 500 or better as your for each of your 5 front line. So you receive $100 commission from the $197 setup fee for each person who accepts the above plan. That puts $300 into your PayPal account immediately. It's what is called by PayPal split pay. When they pay that $197, 100 of it goes to you and 97 of it goes to us to do the setup. So you get it immediately. Plus you get the 66 euro refund. Lotto is refunded to your ProSpring, and so therefore your ProSpring is free to play, and the Mobius Viral has funded itself. Now you have $300 in your PayPal account plus the 66 euros from ProSpring refund. You got $370, and that funds your Mobius, or the person you're bringing in, their Mobius Viral monthly subscription of $197, payable on the 15th day after the free trial. Yes, some of you got it far, far cheaper than that. Don't cancel, because you will not get back in for $77. I promise you. I'm losing money at 77 bucks. Your Mobius Viral system invites, why? Because what you don't see is I've got 5 people sitting there working on their computers, 2 of them creating graphics, 1 creating video, one creating graphics, 1 creating video, 2 social media viral researchers, and they're all doing that to post to your Facebook page. And you haven't seen that yet, but you'll start to see it within the next 24 hours. So where are we? Your Mobius Viral system invites more leaders, $100 for commission. Those leaders will never cancel Lotto because it's free to play. You'd have to agree with that. You'd have to be absolutely demented to cancel if you were getting Lotto free to play. Those leaders will never cancel their Mobius Viral system because A, the commission on Mobius Viral setups is making them a monthly profit, and B, Mobius Viral is filling their social circles and increasing their Lotto winnings. So there's my presentation for today, guys. Hopefully that enlightened you somewhat. So what I'll do is, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat box. I'll try and answer them for you. We've been going for not quite an hour. and so my timing is pretty good, even if I did pat myself on the back. So, and then all they got to do is click here to get started. So if you click there, guess what you're going to see? Here comes PayPal, and hopefully you can see it in my screen share. It says $1 US for the first 15 days, then $1.97 US for each month thereafter. So those who got in early got a bargain. So there you go. Any questions? Hopefully I haven't been talking to myself. Can you all hear me? Anyhow, it's probably good practice. So, no, just give me a yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Brilliant. Now, okay, says Vince, and thank you. I'll be in touch. I have to go to a meeting soon. John says, many thanks now. Very motivating and promising for us all. Okay, guys. I didn't do all that. Some screw-ups, I might add. So, anyhow, okay. So here's the page. Thanks, Maricon, for putting that up. They can go there and have a look at everything that they've seen through this webinar. But if you do have any questions, I'll just put my mobile number in the chat box. Don't hesitate to give me a call, please. There we go. And get you started. So I had some people on the phone today who wanted to get started. So unfortunately I had to push them over until tomorrow because I was prepping up for this today. I wasn't going to have another screw up. How do I upload my list to Mobiz? Nigel, just give me a call or speak to Michael, one of the two. Go into your admin area. It has to be a CSV file. Hopefully that's all prepped for you as a CSV file. I think Michael did it for you from memory. And then just go into your back office and under email Kickstart, I think it is from the top of my head. But yeah, Jeff says, Nigel, contact Michael. That'll make it easy for you. But so as soon as once you get your list in, it's pretty plain sailing until you start to see prospects appearing in your prospect list in the back office. Some of them will fly under the radar, where you won't see them registered with ProSpring. But that's a lesson for another webinar when I'll show you how to dig them out and identify them. Okay. Unfortunately for us, ProSpring or LottoSpring is not allowed to divulge any information, but we do have a way that we can identify these people. And I'm going to send another ticket to support ProSpring. Let's see if I can get some sense out of that. But at the moment, I can't confirm that shortcut. For Nigel, please log into your admin area and under emails, click upload CSV file. Yep, but Michael did it for Nigel, so Nigel should be sweet. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Well, I'll take it as if there's no questions, and I'm sort of stalling a little bit because I know there's a little bit of lag time between my voice and the response in the chat. One of the things that tripped me up in one of our earlier webinar runs. So if there's no other questions, thanks for attending, guys. I really do hope that it's a prosperous new year for you. It's not going to happen sucking your thumb. I'm not being rude at that. But as I said, get your list together. That is your list. And I had a chat with one guy today. The list from your mobile phone, from your email platform or your email provider, and export your list from any one of your social media platforms. I know with LinkedIn, I've got about 2,000 just in LinkedIn. I didn't focus very much on Facebook. So, but Facebook's probably a better market for Lotto than what LinkedIn is. All right, guys. So I really do hope you have a prosperous new year. And as Maricon put that up there on the chat earlier on, the address for the slides that I've just shown you is https / maybe it's viral.com /webinar, I think it was. Give that a try. And you can get all the numbers there, and you can all, and so anyhow, we'll be running more of these now that I've sort of got things sorted out a lot better, and I'm not under pressure so much, and plus it's a new year, start a fresh slate. All right, guys, enjoy the evening, and thanks for attending. Bye for now.